Hey guys, it's us here, Mark Kern Madman, with our 36th Madman podcast, your home for all the latest and hottest gaming and nerd culture news for the week and beyond. I'm Madman, and I'm going to be discussing the many topics for today's show with our panel, See Money and Doodle.
Hello.
Hello.
How we doing?
So good.
Very good.
Delicious.
Not tired.
Feeling good, looking good, doing good.
Can't help but
Doing
look
good.
good.
All the fun stuff that comes along with it. Yes.
How's it going, Madman?
Good. Thank you.
Another
How are you?
exciting week, guys.
Yes.
Week flew by. This is crazy.
I'm Gucci Gooch.
We had quite a few videos that we put up. Can't believe Last of Us is over, bro.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
Can't
Don't
believe
even.
it.
First
Can't
Sunday
believe it.
without The Last of Us.
I know.
That's crazy.
This is like an empty space.
Yes, that were
In our hearts.
Netflix. Hello.
They should have known.
They
should've
should have
been like,
known.
oh shit,
Yep.
it's going to be done. Let's have something for the next week ready to pop off.
Yep.
And they don't have shit.
No, you really don't.
They
I'm
don't
so
have a fucking
annoyed.
thing to watch.
I'm
that
so
we didn't
annoyed. I
see
need your
already.
shows, Netflix.
Damn it.
Your stuff needs to come back.
Well, maybe we'll have a show or two in store. Just listen to the upcoming topics, and you might just find your new favorite show.
Woo!
So,
That is so far from the truth of what's going to take place when we hear about it.
All
Oh
right,
my gosh.
Madman,
all right,
hit us.
with the beginning. All right, so Microsoft makes deals with Ubitus and Boosteroid to bring Activision games to even more services, including their own content. Ubitus in particular is interesting because they're responsible for making cloud versions of popular video games for the Nintendo Switch, including Control and Resident Evil Village. So, what do you guys have to say about this?
I think that you said Resident Evil 4 because you are super freaking pumped for the game to come out.
Yeah, but we're going to get to that
Yeah.
in a little bit.
Yeah, we are. We
but
actually
yeah.
are going to talk about it. I'm very excited. No, this is a huge deal because again, obviously we know that this is about the ABK deal and getting Activision. And one of the big bullshit pieces that the FTC and the CMA and these government agencies are trying to put against Xbox is saying, well, if you have Call of Duty, what you're going to do is you're going to keep Call of Duty and make it exclusive to your cloud gaming and not let anybody else have it. And that way your cloud gaming is going to grow and be humongous and everybody else is going to have no chance of being anything in the cloud industry because you guys have Call of Duty. So they obviously had that huge deal with NVIDIA that we spoke about.
Yes.
Right. So that is a place that cloud gaming is, and they're going to have Call of Duty once this deal goes through, plus all the other Xbox games. And then they did offer it to PlayStation for their cloud gaming situation, but obviously they declined. So they went ahead and found more partners. So Ubitus, like Madman said, is a pretty big deal because they are the ones that put most of the cloud games on Nintendo Switch. And then, obviously, Xbox signed a deal with Nintendo to go ahead and, put their games on there as well. So now, essentially, you have the company who's been putting cloud games on Nintendo Switch. Now they're going to have your games to put on there as well. So I think that's going to be, it's a smart deal to make. And then Boosteroid, it's just another company. What they're trying to do is destroy the idea that them having Call of Duty is going to do anything to harm the cloud gaming industry. Obviously, it's the opposite in Microsoft's mind. It's a small industry, and they're trying to make it bigger. So they want everybody playing these games on cloud as much as possible in the next 10 years or so. So, I mean, I think it's a smart thing.
I agree. I think that they're just not leaving anybody out, So that's cool. But I'm a little jelly, Where's my deal, Microsoft? All right, we want a deal here at America Madman, and all of our subscribers want one too. Know what I'm saying?
A nice spicy deal. That'd be pretty
Absolutely.
nice.
We'll put Call of Duty on our screens here.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Just put it on all the time. Every time we talk, there'll just be Call of Duty in the background. Whatever you want, Microsoft. Make it happen.
Just,
play it on our
just send a
microwaves.
contract over.
There you go. Absolutely, absolutely. But yeah, so that's just another just another kind of thing to overcome with
Just
this
another
ABK,
piece of information
Yeah.
in the
deal.
ongoing Activision Blizzard saga. You know?
Agreed.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just makes it where it's just a lot harder for them to say no. Like, think about it. What are you
lot
going to
harder,
say
yet
to
they
them?
keep
Like, how can you
saying
deny?
no,
I know
though.
it's so stupid.
Like it's
But how
like
can you deny
what
it, bro?
else do they have to do? And I don't know. Maybe this is just what they were planning to do to begin with, and maybe they're just trying to exceed every avenue that they can with like showing that they're not planning to do anything shady. But it's also annoying that they're doing so much. But maybe they're just trying to show that, look, we did everything we could, and now it's time to, really get in there.
Are you talking about Xbox or are you
Yeah.
talking about the government?
Xbox, they're doing everything they can, and then,
You said it was annoying that they're doing everything they can?
no, I'm saying, well, it's annoying that they have to do
they
so
have
much,
to do it. Gotcha.
like that.
Like they shouldn't have to be jumping through hoops
Yeah,
to make
they
this happen.
shouldn't. It's
At least Steam has some faith in them. Or Valve has some safe on them. Oh, wow.
Safe.
Valve has some faith in them.
Okay, there we go.
Jeez,
There we
I am
go.
so sorry. My English is pretty off today.
oh, okay, all right.
All your
Sorry,
other
Spanish
language are on
speakers.
point, though. All the other languages you speak. Perfection.
Oh, yes. Hola, ¿cómo estás?
No. We didn't want any demonstrations. We're good. We're good. But yeah, I mean, look.
That sounded really good,
It did.
actually.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll hear it back. Yeah, no, this is just going to be, I think we're going to keep hearing about deals like this. I think Microsoft is literally, like, I bet if we opened up right now, if I just went online and like got an LLC for a cloud gaming company,
Oh yeah,
it's just be like, yo, Microsoft, I don't know.
right now.
I might have to tell the CMA that you don't want to play ball if you
Yeah.
don't give us Call of Duty.
Well, that's what I'm feeling. Like they're kind of just it's such a situation. They're showing good faith with this whole thing, but at the same time, it's kind of like that's what they're kind of supposed to do. So it's like,
Yeah.
I mean, I guess the big thing is that these are old 10-year contracts. It's like this is their number.
I know.
This is their big number.
That's their favorite numbers. 10
Yeah,
years.
apparently. What are the question, right? This is a big question. What do they have planned 10 years from now? Because there's a lot of 10-year contracts
Yeah,
going
like, what do you-
around.
Like, you're
What?
like, listen, we already know what's happening. Year 11, shit's going down.
Yeah, like they are like, all right, we're getting rid of all this crap.
Cancel
10
the deals
years.
left and right. That's get
Everything
ready.
is done in 10 years.
When
so
we're doing
what
this
does
podcast in
Microsoft
10
have?
years-
Yeah, what do they have planned?
We're gonna be like, oh my god, and another one. Microsoft
This is-
cancels contract
The world is in
with
flames.
Nintendo. Tells them to go fuck themselves.
That's what I feel. I feel like they got some bigger plans, but they're just 10 years from now.
Yeah, I know. What the fuck?
Jeez, that'd be
Nah.
some creepy
We'll find
shit.
out.
I don't know.
We'll find
Microsoft
out.
could easily just be the protagonist that, like, 10 years later, he's all good, then turns around as, like, the villain the whole time or some
Right?
shit.
This is
I kind
This
of
is
hope
it.
that's the case. I would love for them to like turn heel. And,
Bill Spencer begins his villain arc. What the heck?
Yeah, start just blowing shit up. You know what I'm saying?
well, this is the situation, and this is why I said like it's annoying that they have to do all this stuff because like I said before, Xbox. I've said this. Xbox tends to kind of like bend backwards for everything that's kind of like wanted of them or expected of them. So it's like stop being a bitch. You know what I'm saying?
Well, there's some people who feel like Xbox is basically trying to work their way out of being only a hardware company. Not, and I don't mean hardware. Obviously, they make software, but I mean as far as the gaming is concerned, like they're gonna like systems are gonna be their like secondary thing.
Like
they're
honestly,
gonna be
it's
more
not
into
Microsoft
cloud,
like the
more
people
about
making
being
your
everywhere.
computers or Windows software are making these games. It's Xbox Game Studios. The studios they purchased or they have making the games for it. Microsoft is people that makes the hardware and stuff like that. And all that goofy shit.
Yeah, they want to move on from just Xbox.
Like they don't want to be known as the guys in khakis. They want to be the guy who puts their games on the cloud, you know?
I see.
Yeah, I think that's the big push for the future. Like right now, they're not going to say that, but in 10 years, if you think about where we were 10 years ago versus where we are now, we're in a whole different league. You know, I can get 2,000 megabytes of download speed and upload speed over here.
All right. So, like when we think about what they were trying to do, when they were doing the family share plan, yeah, the whole situation, they've been trying to go digital, like kind of force the hand into digital a long time ago. So this is like they've been trying to get in there, the whole streaming situation, taking Netflix path, you know? So
yeah, because that's the thing that makes sense. You know, if you don't have to constantly, I mean, they'll always make an Xbox, but it'll just get more niche and niche and niche. And what I feel like is eventually they'll just make it like more expensive for the system, like focus on just making it like super powerful.
Yeah.
Like basically a PC that's an Xbox down the line.
I feel like they're just trying to divert as much as possible from the idea of a console as much as possible. They're trying to turn themselves into, we could be anywhere. We could be in your stove, on your TV side.
We could be your microwave.
Speakers. We could be anywhere. Like,
I mean, but that's what Netflix does, right?
Right?
Netflix is anywhere you can possibly want it. So
are they in your shoe?
You never know.
Listen, it's weirder things I can imagine. So, but no, I listen. They're right now for the foreseeable future. That's not the case. Right now, they have their Xbox and they have their PC market, and they're just trying to get this fucking Activision deal done. So we can move on and see what else they have in store for us, right? Like right now, they can't do shit or talk about shit because this is the only thing that they're worried about.
Yeah. Well, they've been doing pretty well this year so far. And again, the big question is, and Doodle said it, what's going on in 10 years that Microsoft keeps sending out these 10-year deals? We'll find
it's just
out.
a sexy number.
We'll see. Everything's over at the same time.
Everybody's deal is done.
Everybody's done. You get undealed. You get undealed. And you get undealed. All right. Well, let's keep talking until then. So what's our next topic, Madman?
Okay, so the upcoming remake of Resident Evil 4 has received massive critical acclaim ahead of the game's release. Praised for taking everything the original did and improving on it by 1,000%. Following in the footsteps of Metroid Prime Remastered, this remake of the 2005 classic takes the core of the game, fleshed out its gameplay and world to the absolute maximum. What do you guys have to say about this?
That's freaking crazy.
So happy about it.
Yeah, that's so dope.
And on top of it, Leon is in Fortnite now. Like, bro, Resident Evil's having a great fucking week now, isn't it?
I think so. I would be pretty happy if I made the game, huh? The remake.
For sure.
When does it come out?
People who made the original, the legacy continues.
Comes out this month, right?
Definitely this month, but
March.
is it like 23rd?
Oh.
So what's that? Wednesday? Thursday?
Yeah, it's like this week. Yeah.
Yeah, it's only a couple days from when we're recording this podcast.
Tomorrow's the 20th,
Thursday
right?
of March 2023. So,
20th?
yeah.
A
That's
Thursday?
pretty hype. I'm hyped for this. I don't know
It's
about
a
you.
weird
guys,
ass
but
day for a game to
I'm
come
pretty
out.
hyped.
Well, it's coming.
Resident Evil 2 Remake was absolutely phenomenal. One of my favorite games of all time. Resident Evil 3 was good. And Resident Evil 4 looks like it's going to be absolutely incredible. It honestly looks phenomenal, so I cannot wait. So,
yeah, I'm really excited for you, Madman, because you've been waiting for this game. So
yeah, I always wanted
I think I've been waiting for this game a lot longer than Madman's been waiting for this game.
Where's your pre-order?
Because it's such a classic, one of the
I don't
greatest video games of all
pre-order games, they're
time.
digital.
I played on the GameCube a couple times. I never actually finished it. So I feel like it was just like I was like I had to do it at one point
Yeah.
because I really like the game. So Resident Evil 4 is like that massively critically acclaimed title that just never got around to actually beating. I mean, I beat Resident Evil 5 for God's sakes and 6. So me not beating 4 was literally embarrassing.
Yeah, that's ridiculous,
but now I should be able
man.
to finally do it. So yeah.
You are to redeem yourself with the remaster.
Actually, 1 and 4 are the only ones I need to beat because I beat 2 remake, 3 remake, 5, 6, 7. Oh shoot!
Oh, it's a remake,
Village.
right? Not a remaster.
So I just need to beat 1, 4, and Village to beat all the mainline ones.
All right.
So yeah.
Well,
what can I say?
maybe you'll do a gameplay.
Maybe a Duels Never Have Ever based on Resident Evil 4
What?
remake.
No, you guys are
you
crazy.
gotta do you gotta do Resident Evil 2 remake. That's the peak of it so far. I'm assuming 4 will probably be better.
We'll most likely do 4 before I start playing it.
4, 2, 3. And then maybe 1 remake if we want to get fancy.
4 looks good, man. It's been my Everest. Been trying to get to this game. Wanted to play it since GameCube times and have it on GameCube, but never really got around to
going back. I get that.
But
yeah, some people have noted how
man.
poorly the game actually aged when you go back a little bit. It's just outdated in its gameplay. It's like Metroid Prime. The shooting mechanics of that were stiff. You had to stay in one place if you wanted to shoot. It was a good game at its core, but it needed some updating to make it more modern.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, supposedly the graphics on this is like really,
absolutely
really
insane. Yeah.
too.
It's going to take advantage of the next generation. It will release on old gen as well, but, the current gen is going to be where it's at, It's going to be lit.
Well,
Yeah, no, I'm excited. Can't wait. Oh, it did better than Resident Evil 4. It was a 9.8 when it released in 2005.
Yep, and now it's 10 out of 10.
That's impressive. So
this is better.
Just like Metroid Prime, it won up the original, which is surprisingly rare to see. Like, not even Last of Us Part 1 was able to smash that hard, or the Secret of Mana remake was able to smash that hard. Chrono Trigger remake. Most remakes and remasters kind of do worse than the original. I don't even know why. Because it's the game everyone loved, but better. But,
well,
the fact that
because
they're doing so well is cool.
It's a different time, and so many other games have been released. But Metroid Prime, as you mentioned, like it's really good.
I played myself, and my God, that's a great game.
Yeah, as we were doing the gameplay, I kept saying Madman's gonna love this game because it's.
Oh yeah, the shooting mechanics,
really, really
everything
good.
felt pitch perfect, despite it being a really old game at its heart. So that just really shows how masterfully crafted it was.
Exactly.
And I'm assuming Resident Evil 4 will be the same scenario. So yeah, I'm just looking forward to it. And Dead Space, even though it didn't make a critical smash like the other two I mentioned, it was still a solid remake. So
it was a very good remake.
Yeah, Dead Space was really good too.
Yeah, we never got back to that.
Yeah, we should.
You guys have a lot to get back to, and more Deals Never Have Ever's that are based on new games because Last of Us is over. I can't wait to see it. I will be anticipating.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Reminder: Last of Us is over. The game was freaking amazing.
The game was better than I remember it.
Well, I guess it's natural to go from a masterpiece to another masterpiece. Maybe Breath of the Wild you want to go to?
Oh, I gotta try that game. When's the new one coming out?
May.
So
maybe you should get started. Maybe you'll end up being that one too.
Who knows?
I want them to remake the original.
The original Legend of Zelda?
No, Resident Evil.
The OG. Oh, remake it. Because technically it's part of the RE remakes, the original. So what happens is that the first one was remade. Then some years later, 2 was confirmed. And then it just never came out or never was even mentioned. Until finally in like 2018 or 17, whenever that Sony conference was, they showed a trailer and everyone lost their minds. And it was a complete reinvention of Resident Evil. And basically it blew everyone's mind.
I have no idea what you're talking about, by the way.
What I'm saying is that RE2 was just another RE remake the same way that Resident Evil original was. No, like I think 2015 it might have been confirmed. It got no word until it finally got a trailer like years later, and it released. And it was Game of the Year nominated. So
But what are you talking about? When did they release the Resident Evil Part 1 brand new remake like these games?
What I'm saying is that technically the Resident Evil remake, the old one on the GameCube, that's technically part of that RE remake line.
Okay.
It's just that it was a gap of time between.
But obviously I'm not worried about the game that they remade on GameCube. I'm talking about remaking it on the new systems
I'll say that I
with
doubt
the
that they
new
take the
remakes.
time to remake the original when they already remade it. Why
Yeah,
not
I
just
get
give
that.
another
They
shot
did
to
it a long
game in the
time
series
ago.
that hasn't, like Code Veronica
Oh,
or
I got
5,
it.
maybe even 6,
So,
because those games never really had a true
so
shot.
I would say that there's about I don't know how many millions of people who were not born when it came out on the PlayStation 2 or the GameCube, the original Resident Evil Part 1.
Well, the original
So
remake, PS1 is when it first came out.
exactly. So it's very
This looks really
plausible
good.
that they would want to put out the first game in the series to people who haven't played it, especially when they have a formula in the system right now
They
where
have
they put all
so
these
many
games out.
though. So they have
like,
so
did the
many
same thing with
that they're
Resident Evil
making.
And they're
0.
not
They
stopping.
basically, now what they do is that they bundle it together for a physical release and you can buy it now and stuff like that. It is the HD versions, apparently.
Yeah, but none of that matters. It's about whether or not they're going to actually remake Part 1 or any of the other ones that they had. They had a whole bunch
I
listed
don't know. I
there.
feel like 5 was really good, but it's just like, it just wasn't that scary.
But all
6
those games
was
are still
just-
relatively new. Like they're in the 360 era. You know what I'm saying? So they're still very easily playable.
Yeah,
And
6
the other ones
was
just weren't good, right?
weird. I don't even
Nobody's trying to figure out Resident Evil 6 or Revelations 2.
The Revelations were good. I like those games, you know.
Yeah, so right now Code Veronica's in the lead with 51%.
Code Veronica
Of the
is like that. It's like that weird one where it's not a sequel, but it's a very popular entry, and it's bundled a lot. Like it's grouped together with a lot of the classic 1, 2, and 3. And
Well, it
stuff like
came
that.
out on Dreamcast.
Yeah, it was a
that was the big
Dreamcast
thing.
title. It was also on Xbox and PS2 and GameCube. The GameCube version is super rare though. I don't know why. So yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, during that generation, Resident Evil was largely exclusive to GameCube, which was kind of weird. Yeah. Barely any went to Xbox. Apart from
Really?
Code Veronica, I think. I'm
Look
pretty
at
sure. Don't quote me.
Nintendo with their exclusives.
Yeah, I remember.
I mean, I don't know how much of that holds any water because Part 1, 2, 3, they were all on PlayStation.
Well, eventually. What I'm saying is that no. That was the PS1 generation with the N64. The GameCube generation with PS2, Xbox, GameCube. That generation, if you look, Resident Evil 4 was for a while there a GameCube exclusive. 1, 2, and 3 were brought to the GameCube exclusively. And spin-offs and stuff like that were also, like Code Veronica was also on GameCube. A lot of the mainline or the newer stuff they made for Resident Evil was exclusive to GameCube during that time.
Are you talking about like remakes? Because 1, 2, and 3 were already released.
Yeah. The first one was remade. 2 and 3 were just ports.
Okay.
And 4
Yeah,
was
so
a new
it's-
entry that was on GameCube. I
To
think it
say
came to
that it's
PS2 much
exclusive
later.
to GameCube when it was already released is a little silly.
I don't know. You're confusing me. But
got it. All right.
But
So
obviously, as you stated, when you see the new versions of it, that's what you want to play.
yeah.
And then if
For
there's
sure.
a generation that didn't get the old version, they're not going to want the old version that was for every system. They're going to want the one that's brand new, exclusive, especially if they have a GameCube. So that's a big deal, especially back in the day.
yeah,
you know?
when did GameCube come out?
2001?
When did the Xbox 360 come out? 2005,
2005.
right? Okay.
2005.
You should always know
When
when the Xbox 360 came
oh
out.
my gosh,
How
here we
dare
go.
you. How dare you?
Which
Just
was
the
beat by the
360.
PS3 by 3 million units.
It wasn't beat.
All thanks to The Last of Us.
You drunk?
Literally.
The freaking PlayStation is always a step ahead, except for this mess they did not see
Xbox
coming.
360 stopped even trying. They moved on.
Okay, well
And
that's
PlayStation
okay.
3 was the only one that they just kept
calling
going.
it a fail. If you move on,
Actually,
you're like,
no,
all right,
they were
well,
number one and they went out on top
Mhm.
and they started a new generation.
Yeah, after Halo 3, they just stopped giving a shit, and they basically continued with like Halo 4, Gears of War 3, but mostly they were just doing a bunch of casual shit that people make gamers squirm in their seats. And the PS3 was where that's where they started putting out all their big boy stuff, like Infamous and stuff like that, and Killzone, and of course The Last of Us, which sold millions of PS3 units right when the console was about to die and the PS4 was coming.
That just started PlayStation's, not even started, because when PlayStation announced PlayStation 3 for $600 and told them to go get a second job to buy it, that's when they started being douchebags. And then right at the end, instead of saying, you know what, makes sense, let's put Last of Us on PlayStation 4.
What they did is they
no,
decided to
we're
be
going
pieces
to
of
release
shit.
it right at the very end, right when we're just about to release the PlayStation 4, so that everybody has to have it on PlayStation 3 first. And then a year later, we're going to resell it on the PlayStation 4.
1 year later. 1 year later. Did you know that they did the same thing with Last of Us Part 2? The year PS5 was coming out, a few months before that, Last of Us Part 2 came out on the PS4 only. The PS5 version is not even available. I mean, you can play it backwards compatible, but it's not upgraded for it.
Everybody bought it, though. PlayStation has a way of having their
PlayStation know
games,
what their fans do.
I know, they're shitty towards them.
Their games are really good.
They're just that good.
They are.
Yeah. PlayStation has a way about them with their games. It's kind of like they know what to make. Kind of like Nintendo does. Like they have their brand
Nintendo
locked down.
is like, they could get away with that sometimes. Like sometimes they might have like a cheap scheme that makes them a bunch of money. Like the 3D All-Stars, Super Mario 3D All-Stars, stuff like that. Where it was a good, like it was a cool collection.
Yeah.
It was not a little underwhelming in terms of a celebration of Mario, but that sold millions of copies. But there's times where like you've got Skyward Sword HD, which did okay, but didn't blow sales charts up. Or you have like their half-baked sports titles like Mario Tennis and Mario Golf, which they put barely any energy in, but kind of sold like dog shit. So sometimes they get away with it, sometimes they don't. Sony just can't help but get away with it. Majority of the time. I don't understand.
Well, because there's nothing like a Sony PlayStation fan.
Uh-huh. All right. Let's move on, shall we?
That's, I don't know. They have really good games.
Well, speaking of Nintendo Switch exclusives, Bayonetta Origins, Cereza and the Lost Demon gets incredible reviews and shows that the Bayonetta franchise still has some fire in it. Following the release of the critically acclaimed Bayonetta 3, this prequel is a radical departure from the series' action-packed gameplay, which was appreciated by critics and lauded for its story and unique take on the Bayonetta universe. What do you guys have to say about this?
I told you guys that game looked pretty cool.
I don't know. I am still fucking appalled when I look at it, but it seems like people like it, and I'm sure it's a good game. It's just, you know how there's like, you can tell once they try to take a different approach to a game, and then there's just like, okay, you don't even fucking, like, it doesn't even have a single connection to Bayonetta. Like, if it wasn't for the title, I wouldn't think of it's a Bayonetta game.
There's not
obviously, I know she resembles Bayonetta.
That we live in.
Do you guys think that they attached the name to,
it looks more like Child of Light.
I agree with what you just said right now.
Which was a good game.
I think somebody was. I think they were making this game, and they were like, "Hey, Nintendo, we're making this cute game." They're like, "Yo, we ain't paying for that." They're like, "What if we told you it was Bayonetta?" And they're like, "Interesting. Keep talking."
Well, color me impressed.
It's an origin story about before she was a badass, so she's a garbage character now.
And she's got an annoying British
Sign
accent.
that shit up.
Please, Father, where are you? I choked doing her impression. Like, geez.
Well, it's doing well, though.
I mean, I'm sure
the real question
is
who did the voice for her?
Oh, my gosh.
Was it Helena?
Helena?
Oh, Helena Taylor. Oh, Miss Helena Taylor. You liar, you. You
remember
Pinocchio
that whole saga that we had to deal with?
Oh, my gosh. That was such a mess, you guys.
And it was a blatant lie, too. It wasn't even like, we could give it a sympathy vote. Like, that was a blatant lie.
All right, but needless to say, as I look through these pictures, I say to myself,
playing this.
Not a chance.
No.
I mean, you didn't even play Bayonetta 3, and that was badass.
And I wouldn't
add a few extra numbers to that.
You could have create a whole. You could be like, yo, we have to make new scores because a 10 is not enough. This is a 14. Not a chance. Not a chance.
Good to know. Good to know.
Yeah.
Hooray for trying new things.
What is your favorite Bayonetta game?
Bayonetta 2 was the best one.
Not these.
2 was the best, in my opinion.
I would say that I agree with that. And so does everybody else.
Yes! I don't know. One was, it was a cool take on it. Like, it definitely felt like the first game in a series where there were cool ideas and they had some cool gameplay, but it felt like there was more to expand on. Bayonetta 2 had all the flashiness and craziness that the original had, but it like doubled it and quadrupled it, all while looking very impressive and having cool characters, cool redesigns, and the voice acting was on point. Everything was great about it. 3, it just wasn't a graphical upgrade in the sense I would have wanted. It still's not that impressive, and Bayonetta 2 at some points even looks a little better because of the art direction. I don't know. And I'm not the biggest fan of her redesign in the third one. Just, I don't know. I do have to play more Bayonetta 3 for sure. But yeah, I don't know. Can't wait for Bayonetta 4 though.
Why?
Because they'll probably release on the next Switch or next Nintendo console.
Yeah, maybe.
And you know who's on behind the scenes now? Xbox. Imagine Xbox gives them like a chip. Like, this chip will make your games look fucking beautiful. You'll thank us later. They're like, gee, thanks, Xbox. And then now the console look gorgeous.
Nintendo's like, my precious.
My precious.
Yeah, this is something else. Yeah, I mean, realistically speaking, they've lost me with any interest in Bayonetta. Even if they announced Bayonetta 4, I'd be like, all right.
Did Bayonetta 3 kill it for you that bad?
Yeah, it was trash. And it just looked like trash. Like, Bayonetta is about style and all this. Like, it's about the look. I mean, I don't know how else to say it. Like, it has to look good. And it looked like trash.
And it wasn't even like detail. Like,
I don't want to feel like I'm playing on my PlayStation 2 and I'm.
That's a problem. It kind of looks like a
kid
PS3
sitting at home.
I mean, at least the gameplay was fun and it was snappy. But I get it. It visually is not as impressive.
Yeah.
They didn't even try to mud it up with like a cool art style or visual effects. Like something like Persona 5 or Deathloop had like this fancy look to it that gave you like, oh shoot, I'm playing some premium shit. The beta, there was like, yep, it's on the Switch. Obviously, it's not that powerful. We can't do much about it.
That may have been a good idea. I like to simplify the graphics.
Art style. Give it like
the art
maybe have some
style
cutscenes which gave it like an abstract look or something.
Yeah.
Do some goofy shit. Maybe like put some Vaseline on the screen. Be like, if you squint, it kind of looks like The Last of Us.
Yeah, no, there's nothing saving that damn game. All right, so Bayonetta Origins, great reviews, but it's trash. Looking.
All right, ready for the next one?
Yeah, I think that maybe it's just the type of game. What kind of game is this?
It's like look at it. I don't even know. It's like a bird's eye view, like puzzle / action
Yeah, like
game.
maybe it's just for the type of game.
Nobody likes you. See? Even the game is telling. Look at this shit. Look at how they moves.
Yeah, but
come on, man.
I'm saying that potentially for the other games that are made in this style, it turned out to be really cool.
I mean, I guess I'll admit the
Bayonetta.
the cover art is pretty nice. But other than that, yeah.
When in life, in any reasonable amount of time since, I don't know, the 90s, did what the box art looks like gives like any meaning to
I'm throwing her a bone here. I like the box art.
There's no
I
bones. I don't want any bones for her. There's no bones.
It's like a storybook. I don't know.
This is just like, unless you're being paid to play this for the review, which these people are, God, I wouldn't even. There's nothing you could do. Nothing.
Yeah, I get that. It doesn't seem appealing.
Like, geez, and
like, oh, there's my monster blocking the thing. Who cares?
Oh, thank you, Mr. Monster.
I'm not okay with this. All right, let's move on. I'm tired of looking at this nonsense.
All right, get your tissue boxes ready. So, famed American actor Lance Reddick has passed away on March 17, 2023. He was best known for his roles in films like John Wick and Angel Has Fallen, as well as video games like Destiny 2 and Quantum Break. Wow.
I heard about
really
this.
sad.
Yeah, this is really sad.
Yeah, his last movie will be John Wick Chapter 4.
Yeah, that sucks.
I cannot wait for that movie to come out.
Well, it'll be a good send-off, I'm sure.
He can, because he's not here anymore. Which is what we're
Thanks,
talking
Doodle,
about.
for bringing that up.
I know, but he said John Wick 4. I was like, oh my God.
This is so sad, you guys, but I gotta tell you that John Wick 4 looks fucking fire.
It really does, though.
It did get a 10 out of 10 from IGN. The same people who gave Bayonetta Origins a 9 out of 10.
But I get it.
God.
I know.
All right.
So
So
Destiny 2, he
Lance
did play
Reddick
a
was pretty
major
cool.
character in that video game, and a bunch of people in the game are lining up at the Tower of Landon or whatever the heck the Tower of Landon is, something like that, to pay their respects.
yeah, it's pretty cool. They had like a whole bunch of different people, like all people are like all gathered at the tower in the game because he's like the main he's one of the main characters in Destiny. The Horizon Zero Dawn, he's and the sequel, he's in it. Quantum Break, he was in.
Oh, that was a good game.
Yeah.
See, I didn't know he was. I've seen him in movies, but I didn't know he was such a big part of like the video game world.
Yeah, he does
he's
a lot
in
of video games. He's also been in television shows like Rick and Morty, stuff like that, and Lost and stuff like that. He's had quite the resume. And he was 60 years old.
So young, man.
Right?
He didn't even get to his next birthday. Wow.
That sucks. I mean,
yeah.
It's
I guess
sad.
we gotta
a lot of people pass away, and we don't cover every
a lot of people
person,
passed
but,
away this year, especially. Like,
when
Kevin Conroy also died. Like
when
shit,
they intersect a lot with the stuff that we watch and the stuff that we do, we want to talk about it. And this guy was pretty cool. He looked so young, bro. Like he didn't look old.
60.
He looked like he had a long life ahead of him.
So what?
Apparently it was natural causes, which even that's a little sus.
I mean, I don't know what's natural about dying at age 60.
I mean, 79 is the earliest a human can die, apparently, if it was natural.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's wild.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, this makes us feel kind of like shit, but this also makes us appreciate life. It could stop at any minute.
That's so we just very true, man.
Hold on to it like every day was our last.
100%.
In peace, man. Rest in peace.
May he become someone even better in the afterlife. So,
all right.
I guess we're going to have to suck our tears up and go on to the next topic. So, the Little Mermaid 2023 trailer has already broken a new Disney record. 24 hours after the trailer went up on YouTube following its Oscar premiere, it garnered a whopping 108 million views, which is the quickest a trailer had escalated to such a number in the studio's history. Despite the trailer's middling response, the film is looking to be an indisputable box office splash when it hits theaters on May 26, 2023.
Did you say middling response?
A lot of people were on it, and honestly, I am guilty of the same.
Besides the trailer's middling response,
some people were not big on it. Some people liked it. Some people didn't like it. Some people were just kind of
trash.
It's an average. Some people really liked it. Some people were kind of meh. I saw a trailer for myself. I love Ariel's voice. Halle Berry, my lord. I did not expect to hear such a beautiful voice from her.
So in the scheme of 108 million people who watched it, you are saying that you believe that it was middling for most people.
Well, an average. I've seen people talking about the trailer. Some people thought it looked really bland. Some people thought it looked amazing.
So if there's an average, though, why wouldn't you go on the opposite end of that average?
Meaning,
what I'm saying is that I've seen reviews, I've seen people talk about it, and
exactly
roughly half the videos or things I've read about it are either I'm super on board with this, or this kind of looks kind of like shit, or another bargain Disney remake. Or just like right in the middle, a few of them were like, I don't know about
mentioning what he feels about it as well.
I'm in the middle. So
that's why he's bringing it up.
Gotcha. So I watched the trailer myself, and that's why I'm confused. Because,
even
did you watch the trailer?
If you compare it to the original movie, which was so colorful and vibrant. Like, I get it, it's real life and stuff like that, but it just doesn't look visually appealing. It looks so gray. It looks so lifeless. Like, genuinely.
I really don't even understand.
Exaggerative. Like, I don't know. I feel like Disney remake, even that Peter Pan remake that they're making. Like, I feel like that Disney has gone down a road where, like, they didn't do this remake thing a lot. So when they did release it, usually it was kind of cool or it was kind of fresh. But I feel like this keeps squirting out remake after remake after remake after remake. And it's kind of like they're all starting to blend in. And even Aladdin was a shit show. And Dumbo was a shit show. And Pinocchio, I mean, it was Like, what I'm saying is that, like, these remakes are starting to have less love poured into it and more like, we know this will do well at the box office. I hope the movie as a whole will be good. Maybe the movie will be better than what the trailer showed, like Encanto.
Yeah.
But, I don't know. Hopefully
I agree with you, man. I like they just keep on remaking everything they can. And,
And that's bad.
It's all right if you feel differently. I mean, Lin-Manuel is handling the music this time around. Woo.
Which he said he's very attached to the original songs. So
yeah, he adores that movie. It's what made him want to make music his career. So
I don't know what was the point of bringing him in if he just wants to keep it all the same.
He's not changing any lyrics. However, he got his boy David Diggs to be Sebastian, who is a Hamilton alumni. So
Yeah, he's really good too.
Sebastian looks kind of fucking weird though. Flounder doesn't even look like Flounder. It looks like this blue fish thing. And apparently Scuttle's not even like a seagull in the movie. He's like some gabet or whatever the heck kind of bird.
They try to make him look. So basically, they're going into the Lion King territory of
which I feel like Lion King worked good because it was all animals and it's about the majestics of nature and stuff like that. It looked beautiful.
Yeah,
it was almost National Geographic. With that, you're mixing humans in there, and when you see such dull-looking animals and with other humans and stuff like that in dullish environments, it just doesn't have the same effect. It's not like you're watching nature. You're just watching some really sad animals and humans talking. It's kind of like, oh, look at that, you're putting up the trailer.
Yeah, I do agree.
Sorry. Holy fuck, the midness is just, it's getting to me. But, yeah.
It's really not.
I don't get it. I'm sorry. I'm not hating. Especially when you look at Avatar, the way the water, how they handle those gorgeous water scenes. It's like, bruh, you can do it.
What is wrong with the water scene?
It just looks so bland. They don't even look like they're in water. It just looks like a blue dome almost. Like, it's not like you can tell they're in water. You can see that she's swimming around clearly, but, it's not like it's some crazy shit. Like, I know they could do it, but they're not putting in all that money. Which, I mean, Little Mermaid is one of their most beloved and important films in their studio's history. You think that they put a little more towards it.
Well, I agree with The Lion King. The Lion King was one of, it was, really, really good, in my opinion.
If that movie had Be Prepared in it, it would be the definitive Lion King.
Which is funny because that's the one thing I really, really love, the fact that they didn't go full blown into that song.
No, I love that. That's the most badass villain song out of all the Disney songs. So no competition. And I think Mufasa's death was a little sadder in the animated one because you could see the fucking betrayal in his eyes. But other than that, I don't know. I really like the live action one, even though that's one of the most divisive Disney remakes. But still. And Mufasa's going to be good. They're making a Mufasa solo movie about what happened before The Lion King. When him and Scar were young. So that's going to be pretty cool, I think.
The live action?
Yeah, they're making a live action Mufasa prequel, which tells the story of Mufasa and Scar and how they end up hating each other, or how Scar ended up hating him so much.
That's pretty cool.
So, yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
So I'm looking at the trailer. Actually, it looks pretty good.
Yeah. Exactly. But that's why
I saw the trailer. I'm not hating.
I start feeling like it's a little disingenuous, where it's just hating for the sake of hating. Because I'm watching the same thing, and I grew up with this. So if out of the world of people who can feel something about it, I know the original. I grew up with the original. So for me to look at this and be like, wow, this looks good, it's a little weird when so many people who clearly didn't actually grow up with this stuff.
I agree with the water. Like when they're up on top, it looks really good. Like I feel like this looks really good. I feel like when they go under, I don't get that.
Wonder, yeah. I think that's the biggest thing. A lot of these movies are going to take place underwater after all. And if that's not impressive.
But what is supposed to be happening underwater?
Underwater? Aren't there like the little air bubbles are supposed to be a part of it? Like it's all really kind of like really smooth.
But if you think about the Disney movie, right? There was they didn't use bubbles every time they talk.
Yeah, but we're talking realistic now.
No, because they're mer
like
people.
when they were flipping around,
so they're not blowing out air.
Ariel kind of flip, like
they don't breathe. They don't.
Around a little bit.
You understand?
And shit like that.
They're not blowing out air.
No, I'm not talking about from their mouths. If they were like swimming around with like their fins going up and down, you can kind of see there was like little little bubbles or swishes and stuff like that.
But you wouldn't barely tell swish that way underwater.
It looks a little bit like they're floating.
I don't know. I'm not a fish, so I can't tell you guys what happens under there.
I am not a fish.
Yeah. The water's not my type of oxygen, but so I can't necessarily tell what goes on underneath. It looks pretty good up on top.
It looks great. It looks great the whole time.
That's your opinion. I get that. But
the whole
and obviously it's not
right there.
I'm not hating on Little Mermaid.
What are we talking about?
Look at the swish. That type of motion is what I expect a little bit more of when it's happening.
In this picture, right? So the feet are scurrying the water down there.
Maybe, dude.
When she's a mermaid, she has a fin. And the fin is not doing that.
And even the acting wasn't all like WoW. Or
Okay,
anything.
now we're just saying random things.
Like,
nah.
geez, I saw the
Okay,
trailer
fam.
too. Where there was competition between her
I
and
can't
King
hear
Triton
the
or something like
trailer,
that. He
so I
didn't
don't
feel
know
as
how they're.
powerful as Triton in the movie and something like that. It didn't feel like a menace or anything.
Got
And
it,
Eric,
got
I could barely even remember Eric. Must have been forgettable enough.
Got
So,
it.
I don't know. And David Diggs as Sebastian, I was excited for him, but he sounds a bit off as Sebastian. I don't know why. Something sounds off.
I think
don't know.
everybody sounds off.
I gotta watch the trailer and like listen to
yeah,
it.
I saw the
But
trailer.
I
as
think
of,
everybody's.
I don't care enough to like have
I don't know. I'm not
have this
opposed
figured
to Little
out.
Mermaid.
I don't.
Like,
If
this
it
didn't
comes,
kill anything.
this movie's not something I'm gonna rush out to the movies to go see. Once it pops up, I will check it out. But
Melissa McCarthy's Ursula.
mhm.
I mean, she actually seems like
Interesting.
she's doing a pretty good job as Ursula. I think she is a decent fit, which I didn't expect. I was like, but yeah. So yeah, that's cool. Well, that's
Sounds
Little
good.
Mermaid.
I'll check it out when it comes to the streaming services.
Yeah, it's going to theaters first
as-
because they had that much confidence in it. So and
It's all right. That's why
Well,
we
they're
got
trying
Disney
to make
Plus.
their money.
well, Peter Pan's gonna be straight to Disney Plus. Peter Pan and Wendy, it's called.
That's because that's not a property
Peter
that's
Pan.
big enough to bet on.
Actually, that's a property that I think they've made many times, and I don't think it's done well.
Yeah, I don't
No,
know.
they haven't made it
Disney
20
has
times. Peter
3
Pan is
movies
free
that
to
are
be
the most
used anywhere.
important to them
Which one
that
was
they
the one-
cannot F up. They
Say that
have
again, Madman.
Disney has 3 movies that are incredibly important to the studio in its history. There's Snow White, which is obviously the original that started it all. The Little Mermaid, which literally saved the company from bankruptcy. And The Lion King, which is the most critically acclaimed and beloved movie in their entire catalog. And so, if they're not, like, they already released Lion King. The Little Mermaid, which that made like $1 billion+ by the way. It's one of the biggest movies of all time. The Little Mermaid is shaping up to be a big success. And Snow White, I don't know what the fuck's gonna happen, but they're gonna probably make it special. So
They're making a Snow White.
Yeah, they're making Snow White. But there's no dwarves, get this. So I'm like, what are they gonna do then? So yeah. I don't know. It's gonna be weird,
Maybe they're
but-
doing a modern take on it.
yeah, she's gonna be Snow White's gonna be Rachel Zegler, who was in West Side Story 2021, the remake. Maria, she was. So, it's interesting. But,
That's cool. So
How come we're not hearing people losing their mind about that?
Well, because there was no trailers, no footage, nothing was shown.
I didn't
just
even know they
said.
were making this.
It was confirmed at the D23 Expo, but there's no footage whatsoever. So no one cares as of right now. The Little Mermaid, it was confirmed a little bit ago that the cast was already the cast, but it was until the trailer that people actually started talking. So,
So I wonder what they're gonna do. They're just not gonna have her. I guess the whole idea of her living with like 7
Nah, they're supposed to be
guys.
magical creatures as per Disney. And I'm like, apparently because dwarves are offensive or something like that. And then they're like, no. They're going to be magical creatures. That's literally how they responded. Or something.
Gotcha. Okay.
So, yeah. It's just called Snow White. So, you're not Snow White and the 7 Dwarfs. So,
Okay.
I don't know.
All right.
Hopefully
We'll
it's
see.
good. Maybe. All right. So,
No, that one I find a little hard to have them make it. What is this? She's Spanish?
Latina. Yeah.
Yes.
That one I find a little hard because literally Snow White is white. Like she's supposed to be
White,
super
her skin
fair
is
skin.
as white as snow.
Like that's the whole character.
I guess this is.
So that's a weird. Like everybody else, their character is not based off them being white. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like they're white characters, but they're not. Their character is not based off of them being white. They just happen to be white. Whereas Snow White, the whole thing is she's the fairest one of all. She's the lightest skin. Like that's the fucking whole point.
Jeez.
They're gonna stop all that talk. But like she got swag.
And Dad's gonna have a rage podcast. No, I didn't mean Dad. I meant see money. Sorry, it's not my dad.
Jesus.
It's money.
Oh my God. Calm down.
No
All
one will know
right.
my
What's our
identity.
next topic?
Next up in life.
All right, so an Unreal Engine 5 editor is coming to Fortnite this week, allowing people to create fresh experiences in the game akin to how you could do so in Roblox. Which makes sense because 50% of American children play Roblox. That's wild. What do you guys have to say about this?
That's cool.
So now you can get Darth Vader, Rick, and Goku to create worlds together. Isn't that pretty sick? Yeah, I don't know. It's pretty hype.
I think that's dope. Especially Roblox is huge.
So they're bringing Roblox.
Nope.
They're making
editor.
an editor tool
So
where you
they're
can create
using Unreal Engine
experiences
5 editor.
similar to how you could do so in Roblox's Creator Studio.
Just like there's
Also,
a bunch of people who make Roblox games
yeah.
in Roblox. That's what they're looking
So they're
to do here.
doing what they did with PUBG. So essentially, they're taking the idea.
It's
and
complicated. It's a world
releasing
editor.
it for
Roblox wasn't the
themselves.
first to make it up. There's
So
plenty
I'm
that do
really,
that.
I'm really excited
Fortnite already
about
has that too. It's just not as a big
Fortnite.
focus.
It's creative build or creative.
I'm really excited for Fortnite doing this because I feel like Roblox, although like super popular and everything, like it just looks really crappy. So I'm really excited to have a game that looks like Fortnite allow you to go ahead and do the same things that you can do in Roblox.
So yeah, I think the big difference is that Roblox has a simple look and it's simple to play. What happens when you have like really nice graphics?
Is this foreshadowing? Think about it. Every battle pass they have a secret character. We've had Superman. We've had Doomslayer. Last pass we had The Witcher. We had Geralt. This pass we're having Eren Yeager. Maybe next pass the new secret battle pass character will be the noob from Roblox. You can play as blocky Roblox fuckface in the game. Wouldn't it be sick though? Little Roblox characters running around.
That might be pretty cool. We don't know.
So they want to compete with Roblox, and they're going to say,
They're
hey,
gonna bring them in.
Roblox, let's make a deal to have your fake character come into our actual thing. The character that nobody knows or thinks about, because in Roblox, you make your own character.
I mean, other than the
and you move
designs,
on.
like their shape of them. Like, obviously the
That's
noob
mad
design
random
with like the blue t-shirt,
and
green pants,
unnecessary.
and yellow skin is the most popular, like iconic.
So
But,
I
you know.
think the biggest thing is that they would have to try to find a balance, because they're not going to pull kids away from Roblox
Successfully.
just because they're making a ability for
like you're
people
either
to
a
make
Roblox
games
kid
like
or a
Roblox.
Fortnite kid. Very few are both.
I think the idea that they'll have is, can they make a more grown-up version of Roblox that maybe more older people might be like, oh, I want to go play these random games that things are made of.
Well,
in
Roblox
Fortnite.
now has first-person shooters that are very akin to Call of Duty. So,
Yo,
I mean,
that's true. I played one.
a Flashpoint, like I
and-
can't remember the name exactly.
Frontline or something.
Frontline,
like
that might be it. Frontline.
And that crap was crazy. I was like, dude, I can't believe they made this in Roblox. Like they look like
Roblox,
it was a shooter. Playing as a shooter, aim, shoot, like Call of Duty.
That's pretty cool.
C Money could not believe it when he first heard it. So, yeah.
Yeah, and then I played it. I was like, yo, that
This
is
is real.
dope. Yeah, but that's pretty cool. Fortnite is dope, and anything that they have that they can make to possibly offer more things, you know.
I don't
I'm
know. I don't
interested.
think there'll ever be
I'm
a hit
intrigued.
like Fortnite. So I'm pretty looking forward to how far they're going to take this idea, you know?
Absolutely.
And that brings us to our next topic, ladies and gentlemen. Because Shazam, Fury of the Gods, has an embarrassing start at the box office with a petty 30.5 million gross internationally. Due to the film being part of the dead DCEU, the film most likely was impacted by its irrelevancy to the new DCU and fell flat on its face, performing worse than Morbius did on its debut. That is a slap in the face, bro. Jeez. Ugh, that just makes me sick just thinking about it. What do you guys have to say about this?
So people hate Morbius, and this did worse.
What does it say about the movie?
Well, it just means that there wasn't as much hype for this as there was Morbius before the movie came out.
I mean, here's the thing.
People
tricked
didn't know
people with
Morbius was bad until after.
If you
know what I'm
watch
saying?
Yeah.
the trailer, that was right after No Way Home came out, and people were all amped and stuff like that because like they brought all the Spider-Man back, and everyone was on the Spider-Man hype train again. That made $2 billion. Whoa. In a trailer, there were 2 cameos. One, in one of the shots where he was walking down the street, there was a graffiti art that had Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man sprayed on the wall, and it said "Wanted" and shit like that in red paint or something like that, or "Murderer" or something. And people got crazy hyped over that shit, and they're like, "Oh my god, Morbius is gonna connect everything." Then there was like the one shot where it was the Vulture from Homecoming and stuff like that. There was a really brief shot of him in his normal attire, and then people were like, "Oh my god, they are gonna connect everything." And in the promotions, because they knew how popular No Way Home was, they started doing this tagline where a new Marvel legend will be born or something like that. And people just thought it was going to be some crazy cinematic universe explosion. People watched it. and realized they were conned immediately. So yeah, it turns out that none of that stuff was even true. And the scientist, Vulture, was there, but he had no connection really to Homecoming. So it was all just a sick joke that Sony tried to pull on us. Shazam doesn't have any of that stupid shit. And funny thing is that it reviewed better than Black Adam. Black Adam's doing better than it did at the even that's doing better.
Hey, Black Adam was a shit.
Yeah, I liked it. I mean, it's gotten worse. It got better reviews than Black Adam, but it got worse views than the original Shazam. Shazam did better than both. So I don't know.
So
I like the original Shazam though. It was a fresh, cool take on the DC heroes and stuff like that. And I thought Shazam 2: Fury of the Gods will at least do decent, despite it being part of the Dead universe. But apparently, people just don't give a fuck anymore.
I honestly don't like the actor that plays Shazam. But the actual movie, the first one, was actually pretty good. But again, I'm not lining up to go see this thing.
I don't know. I'm telling you.
I mean, to be fair, we're not going to line up to watch pretty much anything.
Out of all the movies in this universe, the only one I think will do well will be The Flash. And that's mainly because Michael Keaton's Batman is coming back. But other than that, like Aquaman and Last Kingdom, I guarantee you that will do terribly. Any other shit that they have is probably going to do terribly.
It's crazy because I didn't necessarily care about the whole Flash situation until I saw the trailer for the game. And even though everything around it was chaotic, his character seemed so freaking cool that it made me so excited for the movie.
And remember, he had a great part in Zack Snyder's Justice League. We all forget that, but he was great.
So I'm actually really looking forward to seeing the movie. I'm not going to go to the theaters to go watch it, but for sure going to watch it as soon as it comes out.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know. It had to be really dang good movie to get us to go in theaters, like the Super Mario Bros. Movie. We're going to be lining right up to see that shit. It comes out April 5th. Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. That's going to pull people in, Right? See money and doodle.
That's right. That's right, Madman.
Dreams, man.
The trailer looks pretty good.
Well, yeah, Shazam. What can I say?
Yeah, the trailer doesn't look so bad. I don't know what's going on with it.
Some people, I think, so generally it got good reviews.
Yeah, people, people like it. It's just the critics. This might be a Black Adam scenario where when it comes out to HBO.
It's got a good old case of 7s and 6s across the board, meaning that it was worse than Shazam, but better than Black Adam in people's critics' eyes.
It's an 87 with fans.
Huh?
It's an 87 with fans.
Oh, not talking about fans, talking about critics.
So I know, but what I'm saying is that for fans, it was 87.
Which is roughly the same percentage that Black Adam got, 80-something, or maybe 70-something. I don't remember exactly, but it was around that range. So who knows? We might end up really liking this new Shazam. So,
All right.
Yeah, I feel that.
Sorry, my throat.
Maybe worth checking out.
Maybe. Keyword. Maybe. But yeah, I don't know. Shazam gets me really hyped, especially for this next topic. So, the highly anticipated series Hell's Paradise has officially been confirmed to be releasing in April of 2023, alongside a new trailer showing us what to expect. So you might be asking right now, man, what are you talking about? Well, this is actually a very popular comic series that was released a little while back, but is finally getting a television adaptation. And the hype around it is pretty dang high. Synopsis of the show goes that it follows the ninja Gabumaru and the executioner Yamada Asaemon Sagiri as they search for the elixir of immortality. They're looking to live forever and shit. And it's mostly the artwork is absolutely insane. The story is really good. The characters are very well written. So sorry, my throat. Gosh darn it. So the series will be animated by Studio Mappa, the people responsible for Jujutsu Kaisen, Yuri on Ice, and Chainsaw Man. And the hype around it is crazy. It's coming out April. I saw a trailer, not knowing much about it. Damn, that looks good. Super good. There should be a trailer on that website. You can check it out. But honestly, I'm really excited. I did not expect to be as excited as I was. So hopefully it's good. What do you guys have to say about this, if anything?
I mean, I haven't seen the trailer. C-Money's looking it up right now.
It will debut on Crunchyroll day one. Who knows? Maybe this will be like a Spy Family scenario where we talked about it on the podcast and you were like, that's cool, I'm sure it's good. Now you saw the show and you love it. So
when is it coming out?
April.
April. All right.
I mean,
It looks good.
And it was noted for having very well written female protagonists and stuff like that. So gotta love the feminism. So it's pretty hype. I'm actually looking forward to it. I did not expect to find it as cool as I did. So looking forward to it. That's for sure.
I'm really liking the fact that there are so many more like animes being made.
Well, animes have always been made, but what is cool is how mainstream they're becoming. Like when new ones come out, they're starting to take a lot more notice. And one of these, like maybe Dragon Ball blew up, Naruto blew up, but like all 750,000 of the other ones that came out that year, no one gave a fuck about. So a lot more is definitely being put in the mainstream.
Mm-hmm.
So cool.
This is what's happening, right? So before, you had movies and TV and things like that, and then you had video games were like the niche thing that people.
Video games were niche once. Isn't that wild to think about?
And then after video games, there was an even smaller niche that was anime. And then now that video games have become mainstream, anime has taken the spot that games used to take, where they were niche, but a lot of people were into them. And that's where we are. So now it's a lot easier to make them or bring them out. And I bet you there's a lot of old anime that's going to get remade or stories retold.
They're actually already doing that. There's a series called Trigun, which is a classic stuff like that for the 90s. It got a little overlooked back when, but now they're doing a series called Trigun Stampede, which actually looks cool because it's actually interesting. It usually is CGI, completely CGI animated with like this 2D look, and it actually looks really unique, and it looks really dang cool. While redesigning the characters a bit, and it looks really fresh. It looks pretty cool, actually. I want to check it out at some point. But yeah, so that's pretty dang cool if you ask me.
It is, and it's good that they're remaking like things that can now take like the spot that it should have taken,
Yeah.
Especially with the technology that we have now.
Yeah, it's like how comic movies used to be looked at as like cheesy throwaway TV movies back when. But after Sam Raimi's Spider-Man and the X-Men movies came out, people they started to blow up. Then the MCU, when it first started, was like absolutely taking over the world, and MCU is the biggest film franchise of all time.
Yeah.
So, it's getting there. It's cool.
All right.
Well, Spy Family is the best.
Bruh. You have not seen the peak yet. Someday. It's all right. I like Spy Family a lot, too. I would give it a solid 7.5 out of 10. It's really good.
That's
really
a random fake number.
So, besides the season 1, part 2, like wrapping up, there are talks about a movie, right, for Spy Family?
Not talks, confirmation. There's
awesome.
even a trailer out for season 2 in the movie. It's definitely real. It's coming out this fall. And, I think the success of Spy Family was completely unprecedented. And they just were like, well, we got to come up with something. A movie? Yes! So I completely think this was off the fly.
Well, I think that being such a hit, it was, I don't know if they were expecting it to be, but...
No, they were not. The comic was doing well. It was popular enough to warrant an adaptation.
Yeah.
But no way were they expecting the show to be as successful as it was.
Well,
it's crazy to me. I will never forget it. Because I remember when Crunchyroll, I subscribe to Crunchyroll on YouTube, sometimes they have little promotions they put up, like, this new show, Spy Family, starts airing in 3 weeks. Get ready, everyone, this April. And I'm like, oh my God, this looks so stupid. Who is going to want to watch that? I will always remember that. Because that's when I keep seeing this little Anya folk popping up and scenes starting to, like, pop up everywhere. And then the show becomes huge. You see a hot topic, and then the show blows up. And it's, like, crazy. I will never forget that. I underestimated that show. I really did. And the funny thing is that when I watch it, it's actually really good.
It's really good. It's super funny.
Amazing. Yeah.
It's quality.
Yeah, I agree.
So good.
100%.
And it's the reason why it's so much better than all of the other animes. All of them.
Don't make me laugh. Nah, I'm not a Spy Family hater.
Because they don't have to rely on the same tropes that they all do.
They all do?
All of them are... let me be murderous and kill all these people and do all this stuff. and that's what they have to do because that's the only way they get any attention or anybody likes them.
You know, there are so
Whereas
many
Spy
more
Family
romantic comedy or slice of
actually
life
did-
than there are action.
I'm talking about popular ones, like good ones that people know about. So Spy Family is one of those where
I
they
love how we're not
have
taking into account the fact that
they
yours
have
counted
spy people.
killed thousands of people.
Yeah, but that's not. They don't spend time showing that to us, right? They could, right? They could easily say, "How do we make ourselves more popular? Let's show all the murders on the screen, right?"
The Adventures of Your Forger, rated R.
They leave that on the background, and they just show some badass action every once in a while. But they're focused on a story, and they're telling a dope ass story, and they're executing it like champs.
There are plenty of action-based series that tell stories really well, like Death Note. You could say like Attack on Titan or Full Metal Alchemist and Cowboy Bebop or Trigun. Like there are plenty of shows.
Are you literally trying to tell me Attack on Titan is one of those shows? When I seen the trailer, how much blood and people are getting
violent
murdered.
as fuck. I never said that, but it has a great story. It's very well written.
Yeah, but the point is what I'm saying is that your definition of a great story is blinded by how the action and all that other stuff that you like. Whereas this doesn't have the ability to hide behind that. They just have their story out front and center.
Well, it's not like, to be fair, I'll admit, first season was kind of more action-y to kind of get people enthralled. But especially as the seasons went onward, it got to the point where there'll be like gaps of episodes with zero action. But it's because it's fleshing out the story so much. And I think it worked out for the better. Season 1 was meant to draw you in. After that, they kind of start questioning the perspectives of war and how, like, no, everyone's a hero in their own story. And it's how you look at it that everything could change. Final season was all about perspective. The first, like, part of it had nothing to do with any of the characters. A completely different area of their world with completely different characters. And you almost began to root for what they called the enemy. And it just shows that, like, there's just so many sides to, like, anything, to war especially. Like, it's crazy because everyone's a hero in their own story, and it's just the way you look at it. It shows that war is not black and white.
That's also a very mundane story, right? Like, that's a story that's been told
obviously,
many
there's
times
a lot
in
of
other
twists
films.
and turns.
So
the
there's
characters
nothing.
are very engaging. Aaron is an incredible protagonist.
So, but at the end of the day, like you said, they had to do the action to get you hooked in the beginning because the story itself is not worth watching it for.
Well, season 1's a bit flashy.
It's only because you already are hooked onto it that you then crave the little story that they give you, and you're just like, and you feel better about it because they didn't give it to you in the first place.
Well, there was obviously story, but like,
nothing
it was more like
mattered.
mystery. It was like what's out there beyond the walls and shit. They find out what's out beyond the walls, everything goes to shit.
I'm going to eventually get to Attack on Titan, but now I checked out Chainsaw Man.
Yep.
That is just another one. Like, it's kind of like Spy Family in the way that it breaks away. Like, obviously it's violent, but the characters are so different from the average, like, I'm the cool protagonist with the cool hair, and I'm gonna kill all you bastards. It's just a character that
I
wants...
don't agree with that. I don't agree with that. It definitely does that, but what do you think about it, Doodle?
But obviously it's not because he just woke up one day wanting to kill. He had a horrible life. His dad fucking ditched him by killing himself, and his mom was just never even there. And he had a horrible life, and he doesn't even want a grand goal of like $1 million or something. He just wants to be able to put jam on his bread. Like, it's actually really sad when you think about it.
But having a horrible life is not an excuse to do anything.
But he makes him a compelling character
that
as
idea
well.
doesn't matter. But Doodle, what were you saying?
No, I checked out the show. I actually was I didn't want to necessarily, I wasn't sure if I wanted to check it out. I didn't really want to, and I was like, let's see what all the hype is about. Madman really enjoys it, and I thought like it was gonna be like super violent. The first episode, it was kind of like, you know,
a little violent,
a little, yeah. But then it goes into the story, and I'm actually really enjoying it. I think I'm on like, I finished episode 5, yeah. Actually. So I'm on episode 6 right now, and I'm actually enjoying it a lot. I like the characters. It's really funny.
The dub is actually really damn like, so some of the voice acting is a bit but I do think that the writing, like, you gotta write basically a new script to make it sound natural.
Yeah.
But they took a lot of liberties that were not in the subtitles. They kind of exaggerated certain words, sweared a lot more in the English. It's a little wild, but it's funny, admittedly very funny. So yeah, and like I said, see money. Like obviously, it could be violent. Like there could also be powerful messages hidden within them, or that could be shown right in front. Jujutsu Kaisen and Angel Beats are two shows that are all about living your life because they can end in a second, which is I will go more into detail. You might want to check them out in the future. But
Well, I feel like based on what you just said, you could tell me every detail about it, and I already know it because it's the same. Listen. I'm not. I also have been watching these things. Spy Family is the shit for sure, 100%. We watched Chainsaw Man. That's pretty cool. It's you have to put yourself into a mindset where you're feeling like the story is something that you are actually trying to pay attention to, right? Like we know what the story we know what the show's about. It's about the guy he turns into a thing with chainsaws on his face and his arms. You know what I'm saying? So that kind of, changes the feeling of it.
He found this little demon and it was injured and he saved it, and it kind of it was his pet, and he was set up, right, to be murdered, and his little demon friend saved him, right, and he essentially became his heart, and
like he got absorbed into him.
So he's essentially like half human, half demon. And when he needs that power because he's being attacked or whatever, the little pet comes out and he had the chainsaw in the front. So he became Chainsaw Man.
I don't know. It sounds very Saturday morning cartoonish.
It doesn't.
But it quickly turns very, obviously it seems like you kind of know where it's going, but especially 7 and onward, by the end, it goes a completely different direction than you'd expect. It's very, it has a definitive ending in its future. And obviously the story, it's very complex, much more complex, especially in the second half where the show didn't even get that far because of how long it took to animate the first half. But, no, there's a lot to it. Spy Family is great. I'm not knocking it. I think it's really good. I don't think that it's the greatest or is it definitive. There are plenty of anime that have great stories or have great messages that are
I can only
powerful
go based
and
off what I have been exposed to so far. So
you know what I was exposed to that was really good?
What?
Actually, the Puss in Boots.
Whoa, that was a good one. That was a good one.
That was a good movie.
It was a good movie.
I mean, it's practically an anime.
Definitely better than Chainsaw Man.
Wow.
Oh, you didn't like it then?
Yeah,
I enjoy it. I like the show. I like Chainsaw Man. Yeah, so far I'm really enjoying it.
It was fine. It's not like a good show. It's a show, and it's fine. It's not like I'm sitting there upset that it exists or upset that I'm watching it. But I don't like this. So I don't know. I don't like this relationship between her and the dude, and
I mean, a lot of people,
this,
the comic readers absolutely hate her.
I find it so kiddie that literally part of his dialogue when he's talking to the dog is like, oh man, maybe before I die, I could hook up with a girl. That's so whack,
He's
yo.
a teenager, bro.
He's a young kid, though.
Whack.
And Anya's dialogue is any better.
Food,
We're going on a
clothes,
outing.
no house. And what he hopes before he dies is to hook up with a girl.
He's a teenage boy. What do you think he's hoping for?
Dude,
see money.
Does he think he's going to get with as a broke-ass poor?
And that's why.
Motherfucker, how about you hope for a house?
That's his hope in life, right
see money.
Again.
Because the dialogue was not sophisticated enough. Spy Family, Anya, she's like, we're going on an outing.
She's 3 years old or 4.
And he's a teenage boy.
I guess
when you were a teenager, all you think about was squeezing some chick's titties,
boobs and girls.
Squeezing that ass.
Getting.
Please don't talk like that, dude. Please don't.
Give him the old.
Please don't. Please don't. Get the hell out of here with that shit. That's so whack, dude. It's so baby bullshit. It put it this way. As soon as that happened, as soon as I heard, I was watching the show. But let's be real. What happened after the first episode? I fell asleep.
Well,
right?
Yeah, you did.
Because I turned off.
Too.
Why? Because it just every preconception I have about anime is what it showed right away. Oh, I want to hook up with a girl before I die.
Well,
That's so whack, dude. That's so garbage. And then all it did was allude to, you're going to, hold my breasts, and that'll make you have energy to go fight these bad guys or whatever the fuck.
They didn't do that.
That's
Oh my
so
gosh.
fucking
What
whack,
were you
dude.
watching, bro?
It's
That was
trash,
not
bro.
what happened. I think someone was not paying attention.
But what I'm saying is that it's not any type of like
Listen, see money.
like Demon
it's
Slayer
not,
is dope.
It's
Demon-
not your type of show, and that's okay.
That's fine. I like Demon Slayer is great too. I think
Demon Slayer is dope. At least it has like a foundational story that's dope. His family got killed. His sister got turned into a demon, but their love kept her from turning all the way. And boom, now they're off on an adventure
That was some
together.
Disney shit. Yeah,
That's dope.
And Tanjiro's not sexually motivated like he is apparently. Because if not, then I'm
because in a
fucking
world
done.
where your face turns into a fucking chainsaw, maybe that's not part of your fucking life that you're worried about right now. You understand? Like, that's some stupid ass shit. Like, that's some baby bullshit to write this. Like, the dude who's sitting at his table saying, I'm going to write this cool ass story because a fucking chainsaw come out of his head. Oh, and he wants to get fucking laid. Yes, he wants to get laid with his chainsaw coming out. Like, get the fuck out of here with this shit, yo.
Listen,
Alright.
I think that if you're a teenage boy and you've never touched boobs or slept with a girl or kissed a girl,
That's just what you're going to want.
that's probably what.
Is it?
Like how the only thing Ani can think about is what's for lunch today.
Is it? I don't know that.
It's
I don't know that to be
perspective
true.
You
of
were never a teenage
Oh,
boy.
like you don't know that.
Listen.
You're just like, man, I'm too
Yeah.
good for these peasants.
Shut
These
up.
little fucks.
I
See
think
money.
that if I was living in the gutter, honestly, the last thing I'd be worried about is a girl.
The last
First
thing,
of all,
So, okay, so
like,
this
that's
is the
just-
situation.
it's like that's so unrealistic.
his mother actually died because she was coughing up blood, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he is going through the same thing. So he
Mhm.
knows he's gonna die.
Well, he thought he was gonna die
Well,
he didn't quite
okay,
die
so
until he died.
he
and became
knows
a
he's
chainsaw.
gonna die, and all he can think about is dodging some knockers. That's
Oh
all.
my god! How about go to the clinic?
I just
See if they'll
I wanna
take
cop
you
a
before
field.
they find out you have no insurance. You know what I'm saying? How about you see what you can do? Jesus, I don't know.
Well, I don't know.
Listen,
I
it sounds
think-
like I'm ripping it, and I am. But
not ripping. I don't know.
it's still a fine show. And I honestly, the reason I like it is very simple. It's because of the dope ass short. I mean, the video. Where is it? Which one is it?
What video?
Where is it? I know you didn't. You guys make one?
Oh, what?
Right there,
Right
to the
here.
left.
Oh, my
This
Chainsaw AMV.
was dope.
Shucks.
Yeah,
Thank
Mad
you.
Men's
That was dope.
AMV
Yes.
was
Thanks.
ridiculously cool.
That was cool.
I feel like the
Right.
only anime that you would actually appreciate that's not Spy Family would be Angel Beats. I'd have to show you that. I think that's the only one that I don't think you can complain about because it's completely story based. It has a really powerful story, a very emotional ending. I feel like that's the only one that could break you. That's not Spy
Well, you know-
Family.
you know
Other than
what?
that,
man,
I
be
give it up
careful
hope.
with
The
those
way you talk
confident
about
words.
everything, I give it
We're
up hope
talking
on
about
everything.
C Money over here. Expect
Like, look,
the
like
unexpected.
Weathering with You, right?
That's a
that
great movie.
Amazing. Loved it. Great. Your Name.
That was also really good.
It was, except that it wasn't that good in comparison because
in
of
comparison.
how stupid it was when they added like the nonsense. Like he turned into her, and the first thing he does is wants to grab her titties.
You're
Like
telling me
that's,
if you were a teenage
boobs.
boy
He's a
and
teenage
you went into a
boy.
girl's body,
That's
you
never
wouldn't
rape,
want to
dude.
touch her tits.
that's
You're
like
a
rape,
teenage
bro.
boy.
But it's still her body in your mind, so you're literally just taking advantage of this girl. Like that's
it's not like
shitty.
he stripped him off and started doing
you
some
don't
crazy
know
shit.
what else he showered. I'm assuming.
Well, no, they weren't in their bodies that long.
I don't know.
It was just in the morning.
It's just
Then
like
she
shit
got
like
into the
that. It's
morning
just
routine.
so like that's the shit I hate about the anime.
But to be fair, that's not an anime only problem. Look at Game of Thrones. There's sex everywhere. And you
Oh my
can't
gosh,
get
I
through
can't
it.
stand
And we
that
also
show.
don't watch
It's
that.
disgusting.
So it's not an anime exclusive problem. Just
Yeah, but these
Some
are
people take the
cartoons.
liberties of doing
so
such
that
shit.
means you have to physically. It's not like you're directing a movie and like, all right, actor, you go do that. Is you literally have to write it like you're
But that's
drawing
even
that shit
worse. You're
over and
literally
over again.
watching other people like, all right, guys,
All right, boy,
get
get
it
the fuck
on.
on that bed and
That's
get her on you,
freaking
'cause we're gonna
weird,
get
They're
dude.
cartoons. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're a grown person, I don't know.
Guys, all right.
I don't know.
If
This is
you
weird.
watch him showing,
I don't know.
can't even
I
finish
don't
a
know.
sentence. We're gonna
But
get demonetized.
The AMV was dope for sure.
Yeah.
Just definitely check it out. These
So
are
yeah,
some
Hell's
bangers.
Paradise looks fire.
Hell's
Say the least.
Paradise.
You guys forgot about
Oh,
that shit.
shit.
It's all right. It's all right.
Now that I've seen the show, though, I think I would appreciate the AMV even more. After
Yeah,
watching
yeah.
it.
At least know what's going on.
Yeah, this guy's dope.
Aki, yeah, Aki's a shit. He's my favorite
Yeah,
character.
yeah,
Oh
he's
my
cool.
gosh, what's that dragon thing that he brings out?
I don't remember the.
He like
I think
snapped
it's a
his fuck.
fox
He like
devil or
It's
something.
looks
so
through his
cool.
fingers and sees a target and like boom, that shit gets attacked.
Yeah, but it takes from him every time he uses it.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like what, a pinky?
So no, like he had to be bandaged up
Yeah,
because he had to give
it's
him
a contract.
Yeah,
They're
like,
taking something from you.
some
They
of the
blood
skin
eating
he
humans,
took the
so
last
he gave
time.
up some skin to
Oh.
do that shit. Which I mean, that just shows he really cares. I don't know. He's my favorite character from Chainsaw Man. He's
Look at
fire.
this shit.
So yeah. Not to mention he has a good backstory to go with it. So
Did
Yeah.
you see that? Wait, he just
Oh
started
my god, that
kicking
was
him in the
hilarious. This show
What
is
the-
really
even
funny.
any money can get with that. He fucking yeah, he beats the shit out of him in
He
an alley.
literally
but he
kicked
turns
him
around
like
and walks
8
away and he
times.
kicks him in the balls.
That was really funny.
It's nuts or nothing, is what he says.
That's good. That's good.
Well, yeah.
All right.
Did
all right.
see money have
It's
a
good.
change
You
of
hear
heart?
this? He talked hella
Oh my
crap.
God.
It's
Yeah,
good.
change
It's
of
good.
But it's like when
hearts.
I see the cool shit, it's like, oh, that's cool. But then it's like all the filler bullshit
right,
that I
Steve.
don't like. I can't hear the words,
So
right?
he just can't be pure. He's like it's got to be the purest, the most,
Most
God accepted
cleanest.
product on earth.
Most amazing.
Meanwhile, Cortana wears no clothes and is like, I mean, it was an artistic decision.
I know.
Like,
she
jeez.
is not sexualized. Let's fall.
Okay. Are you
Nah.
kidding me? She's literally naked.
She is digital.
Cortana's a
What are you gonna
nudist.
put clothes
She's
on
a
her?
nudist.
She's not real.
Then why did they make her boobs and her?
She could have just worn a
Because they're
t-shirt
showing
and
you
be like,
that
hey,
they
y'all,
made a
what's up?
woman. But
Hey,
she doesn't
y'all,
have
Cortana
nipples. You
here.
can't see them. It's just the shape.
The shape. That nice
Yeah.
shape. The big shape. That one?
Okay,
Yeah, I know
fam.
what you're talking
They put an armor on Master Chief. They could have. They could have
What it
put
is,
something
what
on
it
the
is,
digital
the chest
armor on
there.
her.
Exactly. Exactly.
All right. So, yes. Let's
Well, we
move
lost
on.
our humanity in this
Let's
conversation.
move on. This
All right.
got real. All right. Last
Topic.
piece of
If you thought this conversation was
Nonsense.
stupid, God, you're gonna hate this one.
yes. Seriously.
In response to the 3DS and Wii U eShop's upcoming demise, Jirard Khalil, aka the Completionist, has bought every single digital eShop game on both virtual storefronts for a whopping $22,791 combined. On March 27, 2023, the Nintendo eShops for the 3DS and Wii U will shut down forever, leaving owners of the consoles unable to purchase from the massive library of digital titles both storefronts each offer. Wowie. I don't know. I'm all for gaming preservation, but that's a lot of money for preservation. What do you guys have to say about this?
So he
That's
bought the
ridiculous.
digital games, right? I'm just wondering, what do they send you? Like a digital code?
No, you just
Or
download
you just
it on your-
download it, right? So
on
how
your
did
thing.
he donate these games?
He didn't donate. He probably donated money or
Probably
something.
donated his Switches and shit or his Wii U.
So one
Yes,
person gets
yes.
it.
It's so stupid. Like this is the thing.
His
He's
cousin
not-
or
like it's just
like
stupid.
who
Like,
got
what-
this?
These
this
games are
DS?
saved somewhere. Look, donates them all. What do you think? You think they're deleting these games? These games are not
I know.
deleted. They're
Well, some of these
going.
games don't-
They're
don't
somewhere.
exist.
They're a digital file that exists. Nintendo's not in their building. Like, all right, delete this game. Delete this one. Fucking delete
This
that
is
one.
taking too much space.
Like the same.
Erase,
one
erase,
point- look,
erase.
it was only 1.2 terabytes on the Wii, and the 267 gigabytes. I bought a hard drive for 14 terabytes that was like $89 or $189. You don't think Nintendo can hold this shit, man? Come on, man. They're just not selling it to you anymore. And if you donated them, you don't have those games anymore either.
Right?
So it was stupid.
Oh no, we don't have the right to
this
Steam
was-
World Dig on 3DS anymore. Oh, Like, geez.
Honestly, this was just for publicity to get people talking.
I mean, obviously, he's a YouTuber. He's making content for his channel. He's doing some stupid shit that he's like, I just bought every Wii U and 3DS game on the
but
eShop.
this is him right here.
Wow, subscribe. Basically. So, you know.
So
I feel like some shit Mr. Beast would do and then donate to a hospital or something.
okay. So he has 1.59 million subscribers. Right?
Hey, yo, that's pretty good.
So cool. But like, let's be real, dude. Like, these games do not have any value to anyone.
For the most part, at least.
The games are all trash. He bought a bunch of garbage.
Listen, unless...
I mean, some of them were critically acclaimed, like Mutant Mudds and Shovel Knight were on there.
Okay,
So
but
what
you
was
also
it for
can get
Wii
them in
or
other
Wii U?
places.
Huh?
For
Wii U and a 3DS.
The Wii U and a 3DS, that's the most valuable thing he's given out. Whoever he gave that DS to or that Wii U to, which are old-ass systems, are what they should be excited about.
So I guess the winner here is the person that he donated to.
Which is?
I don't know.
Exactly.
Nobody.
He's probably laughing right now.
Donated it to my basement.
My mother will be here in 2 hours.
Some really dumb shit.
Well,
I can't even appreciate it. Like, I can't even do like a kudos. Like, man, that's good on you for doing that. It's like, come on, man. First of all, you know more than anyone that Nintendo is gonna re-release anything that was good.
They're gonna put it,
buying.
yeah.
And they gave us,
dude,
literally
I was
gave
just
us
about to
most
say,
of the games
exactly.
on the new shit.
Yep, they
Like
just
their
did.
3DS
They just
games,
released
everything.
some of them.
Game Boy Advance. Come on,
Game
man.
Boy Advance. Game Boy Advance. All right. Well, that was a riddle.
Yeah, it was a riddle.
Game Boy
It
Advance.
was a riddle. That's just dumbass shit. I don't know. Like, I get it. You're gonna do whatever you gotta do.
It's cute, you know?
But I don't know. Seems unnecessary.
Well,
but yeah, that
it be what it be.
It do
is
be what
something.
it be. It do be what it be. And I think that wraps up our 36th episode
Of the Madman Podcast.
Podcast.
Woo!
36.
So
If you start thinking about numbers,
yeah,
right,
that's
we're
36
16
weeks
away from 52, which would be a year of podcasting on a weekly basis.
Well, I think we started, I don't know, we got quite a bit till we get to a year. But
we have 16 weeks, which is approximately 4 months.
Let me check my resources.
Well, it's pretty cool.
Sometime in July, I think, will be our 52nd episode.
Look at us.
Look at us.
Chopping them down.
7 months ago. We need to go for 5 more months, roughly, till we get to our wraparound, our year anniversary podcast. So, yeah.
All
we got
right.
quite a few to go. What can I say?
It's exciting times.
Yeah. That's going to do it for our Madman podcast. Guys, if you like this, be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and we will catch you on the next one. Mario Kart Madman, out.